Hello all, or good morning, afternoon, evening. See, I don't really know when you're watching this. My name is Mike at Filmboy24, and it's time for found film number 72. That is correct. 72 times that we have documented an old roll of film, like this one, that was shot presumably many millions of years ago, and then just never processed for whatever reason. It happens, but we're going to try and we're going to find out. Well, we're not really going to try. We're going to find out what was on this roll. Welcome back, everybody. It's found film number 72. If you're brand spanking new to this channel, this delightful and delicious channel, or just my channel, I'm a film enthusiast. I love the analog medium. I'm an 80s guy. I love everything about the 80s. And I was a huge Super 8 shooter in the 80s. Well, I wasn't huge, but I really enjoyed shooting Super 8 in the 80s. I do a live stream every Sunday. So if you are into analog media, stop by. We have a great core group of about 30 people that we just have fun. I'll show a film. We just talk old school media, mainly film. But we just have a lot of fun. So it's 2 p.m. Eastern time every Sunday. We cancel occasionally, just in, something might come up, but keep that in mind. Love to see you or hear you or see you type. So what we have today for your viewing pleasure is this. This is KODACHROME. If you have been following my channel for some time, I'm a little over 4 years into this now, into this channel, you will know that KODACHROME is sort of my arch nemesis now. Now, like I said earlier, I shot a lot of film in the 80s, a lot in the 90s. This is what I used. I used a lot of KODACHROME because that was your schnitzel back then. I mean, everybody shot the KODACHROME. You had Ektachrome 160 or KODACHROME. You had a few other little ones, little black and whites, and some other films from different countries. But for all intents and purposes, you had KODACHROME and Ektachrome. This was it. Nice, beautiful, highly saturated colors. People were just using it every day. It was inexpensive for the most part. Today, not so much. It can only be processed as a black and white nowadays. And even at that, most of the time, you get dismal results. And what I'm talking about is old KODACHROME that was never stored properly, not frozen its entire life, because if it's frozen its whole life, there's a better chance of getting decent images. This film really fogs up poorly, badly, fogs up a lot. And what that means is you start getting this weird sort of darkness over the film itself. It covers the base of the film, and it makes it very difficult to see your image, as you'll see in just a second. This one came out not terrible, and you're clearly going to be able to know what's going on in this film. Couple quick things. This film was purchased from a humongous auction website on the internet. I think you know who that is. It came with 2 other rolls of film. I can't remember offhand if they were fully exposed as well, but this one was. And the seller, where I received the film, was from New Bern, North Carolina. I can't tell you for sure that that's where this was shot, but when you see the film, if you happen to recognize anything about the film, the people, the location, leave a comment down in the bottom there. Because, the ultimate goal, it would be nice to be able to get some of these films back to people that truly appreciate them, family members, people that are in them, whatever. This film, Kodak put edge codes, not on both edges, on the edge over there where the perforation is. They would put a little symbol in a lot of their films years ago. And what that symbol did is it helped you identify the year that particular roll of film was manufactured. So if you were able to find the symbol, which is very difficult with KODACHROME because of the fogging I just told you about, the general deterioration, the molding, the cracking, I'm not 100% sure on this one. I believe I found a circle. A circle would mean that this particular roll was manufactured in 1976. Now, there's about a 30-second spot right in the middle-ish, maybe a little more towards the end, that it's just completely dark or blank or whatever. It looks like this. This is what I'm talking about. So you'll see the beginning, the first couple minutes. I'm not going to show you what I just showed you there for obvious reasons. And then there's the second part, or the end of the film, that, I don't know, doesn't really correlate with the first part in terms of year. So anyway, we'll get into that in a minute, but it makes me question whether this film was really shot in the 70s. You'll see why in just a second. Without doing too much more of this, let me show it to you right now, and we'll be back to talk about it. Here it is. Well, clearly we have a little kid's birthday. I think it was the little girl's birthday party. You see the cake with the, I don't know, the ballerina, I guess, or whatever. Not ballerina, the girl in the dress, cake. Settle down. And then you have the pause. You don't see the pause, the 30 seconds in the middle, but then we flash right to the very quick scene of some cars. They look like 80s cars to me. They don't look like 70s cars to me. So if it was shot in the 70s, we're not going to have 80s cars in it, but maybe you can help me figure that mystery out. What's this I'm tapping on? Well, this is exactly how I'm able to process films like this. This is a processing tank. It's a Lomo UPB-1A, a Russian-made tank. They made these in the 70s. It will hold up to 2 rolls of film. I typically do process 2 at a time. I process this particular roll, and Kodachrome's tricky. You got to almost test every single roll because depending on its storage conditions, you never know how long to process it. Most old Kodachrome, you're going to want to process for around 3 minutes. This one was 4.5 minutes in HC110B. That's the dilution, 31:1, at about 68 degrees Fahrenheit. that gave me those results. You can go either side of that. You can go 3 minutes and you're going to be a lot, the film will be a lot thinner, a lot less dense. You go longer than that and your film starts to get really dark and almost impossible to scan. Now I process all of this stuff myself right here in these little tanks. I have a few of them right in-house, and I scan it all myself as well. And while we're on that subject, I want to tell you I'm about to revisit the Cameraman Mike's sound film box set. Fun little name we came up with a large batch of film that I obtained from eBay seller Cameraman Mike probably about 2-ish years ago that I've been slowly going through. I have an entire playlist like that. I'm going to put a little card up there where you're going to be able to click it, and you can then click again and you can go right to the playlist and catch up, because we're going to get back into Finding Joey. Joey is a little fella that's in most of the films. We know that because they're sound films and we can hear his name. We've seen a lot about him. We've got films from the 70s and the 80s, and we've seen him in school, we've seen him play guitar, we've seen him do things, swim. So we're going to get back into that. I have, I don't know, probably about 20 rolls left out of those 54, I think it was. We're going to try to get through those and see if we can I think I know who he is, to be honest. I think I know exactly who he is in real life. I think he's roughly 50-something years old. That's not what this video is about. We're just letting you know we're going to get back into that and find Joey. It would be kind of cool to bring him on, wouldn't it? And figure out what happened and why we have all this film of his. At any rate, back to the tank. If you're interested in kind of learning or understanding what goes into processing a roll of film, I also did a video, a complete sort of breakdown on how to use one of these tanks right here. I'll do that same thing where I put the little card up there so you can follow along if you'd like. The last thing I want to say is, if you have an old roll of this, if you bought a camera and there was a roll of old film in it, really Super 8 is the easiest. It's easiest because it's light proof. If you get film, if you bought an 8mm camera and not Super 8 and it has the 2 reels in it, those are very tricky. I don't really get into that too much as far as found film, because the cameras are opened and closed so much that they probably are usually fully exposed to light. But if you have one, you bought a camera and it had one of these in it, Kodachrome, Ektachrome, any chrome, new stock, old stock, and you look at the front edge right here where there's film showing. If it says exposed, it'll be typed right on the film itself. That means somebody shot that film and we need to find out what's on it. So if you have that, I have this little sort of a standing rule. You are welcome to send it to me. It becomes my film. I will process it, scan it, and I have the sole discretion of showing it right here on my channel, and I'll send you a digital copy privately for you to enjoy as well. As long as it's not crazily, wildly inappropriate or anything like that, we're going to show it. If you have a roll of film that you shot, well, I'll process and scan that for you too, but I do have to charge a couple bucks for that. It's a pretty time-consuming process. Yeah, I mean, I got things to do, But anytime I can save or salvage any of these old lost memories, we don't know why people didn't get them processed millions and millions of years ago when they were shot. We only know that we can do the best we can to save them now. Save the film files, save the analogs, save the memories. If you enjoyed this goofy little video, do me a favor. It means the world to me. Right there. Yeah, that's it. The little thumbs up button on the bottom. How about tap that for me? It's free. It only takes you about 9/8 of a second, which is over a second. If you think I've earned it, how about become part of this little family? We have a lot of fun here. I do some videos that involve film that I've shot or little experiments that I do, but I really enjoy doing this found film. Old lost memories. And until the very next time that I see all of your beautiful faces, and it's coming soon. Hopefully I see you Sunday. You know what's coming. That's coming. I'll see all of you on the very next go around.